Have you ever wondered why, even with so much effort, you still feel like you're stuck in the same place? Why do some people seem to move forward as if they have a secret map to success, while you, despite working so hard, still feel like you are just reacting to life instead of leading it? Maybe you believe you need more time, more money, or the right connection. But what if what's really stopping you from winning is something invisible, silent, and much more internal than you imagine? The truth is that there is a pattern behind every successful trajectory. And no, it's not on social media, nor on gurus who promise magic formulas. This pattern is hidden in the way you think, in the decisions you make when no one is looking, in the clarity, or lack thereof, about where you want to go. Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest scholars of the human mind and success, said that nothing can resist the will of a mind that knows exactly what it wants. And if you haven't won yet, maybe it's because your mind is still stuck in doubt, in distraction, or in fear. This video is an invitation for you to see clearly what is blocking your evolution. Here, you won't hear generic self-help phrases. You will understand, in a clear, objective, and powerful way, what is really holding you back. And most importantly, you will discover how to change it immediately, based on proven strategies, based on the teachings of Napoleon Hill, and the real psychology of success. If you are looking for personal development, if you are tired of going around in circles, if you feel like you are doing everything right but still not getting the results you deserve, then pay close attention. What I am going to share now may not only enlighten you, but also set you free. Because winning in life doesn't start with effort. It starts with understanding. And that is precisely what most people ignore. Right now, you may be living in automatic mode, waking up, working, facing challenges, but without a defined purpose, without a clear target. And do you know what this causes? Frustration, anxiety, stagnation. The problem is not a lack of action, but a lack of direction. Because acting without direction is like rowing hard in the sea, without knowing where the shore is. And this is where the central point of our video comes in. You will never win until you understand this, until you see that real, lasting, and consistent success begins with the mind. It starts with total control over your thoughts, your habits, and most importantly, your clarity of purpose. You're about to access content that will not only inspire you, but give you a plan. A true mental code to transform frustration into focus, effort into results, and dreams into concrete achievements. This is not a video to motivate you for 5 minutes. It is to transform the direction of your life from now on. So stay with me. What comes next could be the turnaround you've been waiting for. Because the truth is simple. Success begins in the mind, but only those who master this truly win. And I'll show you exactly how. Now tell me here in the comment, what is the word that most represents the moment you are living right now? It could be something you seek, like clarity, action, or even self-mastery, or a short phrase that drives you, such as "I will win" or "nothing stops me." Choose one that represents your commitment to your own evolution. Write it below. I read everything, and I will leave a heart in each comment, because yes, I am with you on this journey. This channel is made for people like you, who don't just want to survive, but to live with purpose, to truly grow, to become the best version of themselves. This is the place where we speak the same language, the language of discipline, strong mentality, personal leadership, and continuous growth. So if you feel that this content is aligned with what you believe, with your values, take advantage now and subscribe to the channel. Activate notifications so you don't miss the next content, because each video here is made to be an additional step in your transformation. Oh, and don't forget to like this video. It seems simple, but it helps a lot to get this message to more people who, like you, are tired of punching a knife and want real results. Together, we are creating a community that accepts nothing less than the extraordinary, where every comment, every like, and every new subscriber represents someone determined to step out of their comfort zone and build a successful life with strategy, clarity, and intention. And if you're here now, it's because you've already taken the first step. Let's move on. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to get lost in the midst of so many tasks, obligations, goals, and promises? You wake up early, try to be productive, make lists, keep appointments, run from one place to another, and at the end of the day, you feel like nothing has really moved, as if everything you've done has kept you in the same place. And the most frustrating thing, it seems like the results don't even remotely reflect the effort you're putting in. This feeling of mental fatigue, of stagnation, of doing everything right but not seeing any return is more common than you might think. But what few people know, and what Napoleon Hill made clear in his studies on success, is that the real obstacle is not a lack of action, it is a lack of direction. There is a stark difference between being busy and moving with purpose. And this difference, even subtle to the eye, is what separates people who win from those who just survive. Hill called this the definiteness of purpose, or in English, the definition of purpose. Without this, you become a slave to circumstances, to other people's demands, to everyday urgency. You work, you try hard, but you never feel like you are building something solid. It's like rowing without knowing where you're going. You spend energy, but you don't get anywhere. And this is more common than you might think. Think about the number of people you know who are always busy, always tired, always running. Now, how many of these people do you see as truly fulfilled, in control of their own lives, living with clarity of purpose? Most are just reacting, not creating. They are letting life take them instead of taking the helm and directing their own destiny. And this could be happening to you, even if you don't realize it. Maybe you are living on autopilot. Maybe you've gotten used to chasing goals that aren't even yours, or worse, that were imposed on you by social or family standards, or the fear of failure. And this disconnects you from what really mattered, understanding, with complete clarity, what you want in life, who you want to become, and why you get up every day. Without this guidance, everything becomes wasted effort, and this is the invisible error that prevents you from winning. Hill was adamant that all the successful people he studied over more than 20 years had one thing in common. They all knew exactly what they wanted. There was no room for doubt or indecision. They had a clear, defined purpose that guided each action, each decision, each step. This clarity is what fuels willpower, self-discipline, persistence, and, above all, the unshakable faith that it will happen. I'm going to give you a practical example, and I want you to imagine yourself in this story. Imagine someone who wakes up every day at 6 in the morning, dedicates themselves to work, tries to maintain a productive routine, tries to study a little at night, maybe exercise, eat better. This person, apparently, is doing everything right, but inside she feels empty. Nothing really seems exciting. The days become a tiring and meaningless repetition. She even advances in some areas, but it always seems like she is far from something bigger than herself. This is the portrait of a life without a defined purpose. Everything seems like effort, without soul. Now imagine the same person, with the same routine, but with a clear purpose. She knows exactly what she is building. You know that work is part of something bigger, that studies are not just about acquiring knowledge, but about building authority, transforming lives, changing your own destiny. Every training session, every reading, every challenge overcome has a meaning. Fatigue exists, but it is accompanied by enthusiasm. This person not only does it, they feel like they are truly living. And that changes everything. Having a defined purpose is like installing an internal GPS. When you know where you want to go, even the detours and obstacles along the way make sense. You stand firm because you understand that each step is part of a larger journey. You don't let yourself be carried away by distractions. You don't sabotage yourself by any criticism. You don't give up because of a stumble. And most importantly, you learn to say no to what doesn't bring you closer to your destiny. That, my friend, is personal power. And only those who have a clear purpose can access this type of strength. Therefore, today, I want to invite you to pause and reflect. Do you know exactly what you want in your life? Are you clear about why you are waking up every day? If the answer is no, or more or less, that's okay. The most important thing is that you are now aware of it. He's awake. And it is from this point that the great transformations begin. If this part of the video made sense to you, comment below a word that represents your focus from now on. It could be clarity if you want to see more clearly. It can be purpose if you understand that you need it to move forward, or even direction if you feel like you are finding your direction again. Right here in the comments. I want to read. I want to see where you are on this journey. And as I always do, I will leave a little heart in each comment, because your every word shows that you are moved, that you are committed to your own evolution. And if this video is making you think differently, it's helping you reconnect with something you may have left aside, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is more than a simple gesture. It's you saying to yourself, I'm ready. I choose to grow. I choose to take control of my life. And that, in itself, is a huge step. So stick with me, because in the next section, I'll show you what to do from here. What to do when you discover you need a purpose, but still don't know how to find yours. Let's go together. You've come this far because something inside you feels like it's time for a change. And it's not a superficial change, one of those that only adjusts the surface. It's something deeper, a real transformation, because deep down, you know that continuing to live on autopilot is draining you. It's not just about being physically tired, it's that emotional tiredness, that feeling of always being late for your own life, that you're trying so hard, but without knowing exactly why. And it is at this point that the turning point happens. This is where the moment for change presents itself, because until you understand this, and truly understand it, you will continue skating in the same place. The human mind is incredibly powerful. It can create realities, open paths, transform circumstances, but it can also become your worst enemy when it is loose, without direction, without a defined purpose. Napoleon Hill made this very clear when he said, whatever the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he also made a point of highlighting something that many people ignore. This is only possible when this mind is completely aligned with a specific objective, with a firm intention, with a purpose that sustains it even in the storm. Think about it. When you don't have a clear target, anything distracts you. One negative comment already shakes you. One setback already makes you give up. One mistake already knocks you down. You become vulnerable, not because you are weak, but because you are baseless, no root, without a point of firmness that keeps you standing even when everything around you tries to knock you down. It's like building a beautiful house on sand. The first wind takes everything away. Now, when you have a firm purpose, that house is built on rock. And even when the criticism, the challenges, the difficult days come, because they will come, you remain, you continue, because you know where you want to go. This is where the secret lies. Your mind needs a purpose so clear that no obstacle can divert it. Let no doubt weaken it. May no frustration be able to paralyze you. And this is not empty philosophy. It is behavioral neurology. The human brain seeks meaning in everything. When he understands that he is moving towards something bigger, he activates higher levels of energy, focus, persistence. It enters a state of maximum performance. Now, without that clarity, he goes into survival mode, where anything feels like a risk, any difficulty feels like a sign to give up, and you start to sabotage yourself without realizing. Therefore, when Napoleon Hill talks about a defined purpose, he is not talking about a generic goal, such as, I want to be rich, or I want to be successful. He is talking about something much deeper. It's talking about you understanding exactly why you want that thing, what you're willing to do for it, what you need to change about yourself to achieve that. And when you have this well-defined, your behavior starts to align. Their attitudes change. Your attitude towards life changes, because now you have a why strong enough to overcome all the how. But maybe you're thinking, okay, but how do I find that purpose? How do I find that point of clarity that makes me get out of bed with energy, with real motivation, with direction? And that is completely understandable. After all, most people haven't been taught to seek purpose. We grow up learning to seek stability, security, external recognition. But purpose is not something that comes from outside. It is born from within. It is the answer to a simple but powerful question. What do you want to build with your life? And it doesn't have to be something grand in the eyes of others. It needs to be something that makes sense to you. May it move you. May it inspire you. May it challenge you. May it make you grow. And when you find that, everything changes, because you start to think differently, act differently, choose differently. You stop comparing yourself to others because you understand that you are walking a unique path. You start to make more courageous decisions because now they are not based on the fear of making mistakes, but on the desire to move forward. And this creates a positive cycle. The more you act with purpose, the more results you have. And the more results you have, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the further you will go. This is where I want you to stop for a second and think, what has guided you? Has it been fear or desire? Was it the impulse or the intention? Are you living a life that builds your future or just putting out present fires? I know these questions can be uncomfortable, but they are necessary because they are the ones who will open the space for the change you are looking for. So answer me one thing and answer honestly in the comment. If you feel it's time, what do you want to build with your life? It can be a word such as freedom, conquest, transformation, or a phrase that reminds you of who you want to become, like, I will lead my own story, or my time has come. He writes, writing helps the mind to settle, and sharing this here with us helps you create a commitment to yourself. I will read, and I will leave a heart in each answer, because this isn't just a video, it's a space where you can remember who you are, what you want, and where you want to go. And if this content is making sense to you so far, if it's provoking you, making you reflect, making you want to act, enjoy, and like this video now, this helps a lot to take this message to more people who, like you, feel like they are ready to take a step further. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time, because the next videos will delve even deeper into these ideas, and each of them can be the trigger you needed to leave your place, break cycle, and build your new path. We are in this together. The next step starts now. Now that you understand the strength behind a defined purpose, it's time to turn this knowledge into action. Because knowing, just knowing, doesn't change your life. What changes your reality is consistent, intentional, aligned practice. And believe me, this moment now, as you listen to me, could be the beginning of a new phase. So if you can, stop everything you are doing for a moment. Take a paper, a pen. Don't write this down on your cell phone. The act of writing by hand is symbolic. It's as if you are giving a direct command to your brain that this is important, that things are different now, that you are taking control of your trajectory. Let's do it together. First step, write in full letter what your greatest desire is. But be careful. Don't write vaguely or generically. I want to be happy, or I want to be successful. Doesn't apply. Be specific. Get straight to the point. It could be something like, I want to build a company that impacts thousands of people, or I want to achieve my financial freedom in 5 years. Maybe it's, I want to develop the discipline necessary to transform my body and mind. The important thing is that it is a clear, objective sentence that represents something that truly moves your heart. Not what others expect of you, but what you want to live. This will be your north, your focus, your anchor. From today onward, everything you do needs to reflect this phrase. Now, the second step. List 3 concrete actions you can take today to get closer to that desire. And when I say today, I mean today. Nothing to leave for later. Because the truth is simple and direct. Every day you live without clarity is a day that takes you away from your victory. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. Small actions generate big transformations when done consistently. If your desire is to undertake, perhaps the first step is to research the market. The second, define a niche. The third, schedule a conversation with someone who is already on this path. If your desire is to improve your health, it might be drinking more water, going for a 30-minute walk, and planning a healthy meal for dinner. What matters is that these actions move you. May they be small daily victories that build your future solidly. And now the third step, read this sentence, the one you wrote at the beginning, out loud. Yes, out loud. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, and at night, before bed, do this every day. This is not just rote repetition. It's a mental programming ritual. Every time you state this phrase, you are reinforcing an identity. You're telling your subconscious, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I'm building. This activates your mind on a deeper level. And little by little, you begin to notice subtle changes in your behavior. You start to act with more focus. Your decisions become more assertive. You start to say no more easily to things that don't bring you closer to your goal. Because now, you have clarity. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my mentees a guy like you, tired of feeling stuck, dissatisfied with his life, decided to apply exactly this exercise. He wrote a sentence: "I want to become an inspiring leader and transform lives with my work." On the same day, it listed 3 shares. The first was to start a communication course. The second, create a professional profile on networks to start sharing content. The third, schedule a conversation with a mentor. He did it. It didn't postpone. He didn't wait for the perfect moment. And I tell you, within 6 months, he was already being invited to speak. I had more clarity than ever. And the best part? I woke up with a feeling of mission every day. The difference was not luck. It was a decision. It was practice. It was consistency with purpose. And if you're here now, listening to me up to this point, it's because you're ready for this too. I'm not saying it will be easy, but I'm showing you that it's totally possible, which is within your reach. And that, from now on, the game can change. It just depends on you taking that first step with courage and determination. You already have everything you need within you. What remains is to activate this with intention. And maybe you're thinking, does this really work for me? And my answer is simple. Yes, it works. As long as you really do it. Not as someone who tries out a technique hoping for a miracle, but as someone who takes control of their own journey and is willing to walk consistently, even on difficult days, because that's how great transformations happen, step by step, day after day, with conscious decisions aligned with your purpose. Now, if this touched you in any way, I want you to share it with me here in the comment. Write down your sentence, the one that defines your greatest desire from now on. Or, if you prefer, choose a word that summarizes this new phase that is beginning. It could be determination, conscious action, total clarity, or anything else that makes sense to you. This will help you make this commitment to yourself. And of course, I will leave my heart in each comment. Because yes, I read, and yes, I am with you on this journey. If this content is moving you, giving you that feeling of, this is what I needed to hear, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. Here, each video is made with the intention of helping you break out of stagnation and achieve a life of purpose, discipline, and fulfillment. And if you are here connecting with this message, it is because you are part of a community that believes in the power of personal growth, the importance of a winning mentality, and building a successful journey, strategy, and clarity. So right here, what will be your first step today? You've come this far, followed each step, each reflection, each provocation, and I know deep down that something inside you is moving right now. It's not just anything. It's that unmistakable feeling that you're at a turning point, that something needs to change, that continuing in the same way is no longer an option. You feel it because you are ready, because your mind, your spirit, your focus is crying out for clarity, for direction, for purpose. And this is the moment when everything starts to align. But it is also the most delicate moment because it requires a decision, and no one can make that decision for you. You can continue living automatically, letting yourself be carried away by routine, by external demand, by daily distractions, by the voices that try to convince you that now is not the time, that you are not ready yet, that that's just how life is. Or you can, from now on, take control, take the lead in your own journey. Consciously choose where you want to go, who you want to become, what you want to build. The choice is yours. It always was, and success is too. And look, I'm not talking about success as an empty idea, as a soulless material achievement. I'm talking about real success. Success that comes from within, that is built with discipline, with strategy, with a growth mindset. Success comes from aligning your thoughts, actions, and value with a defined purpose. The kind of success that transforms your routine, that raises your standard, that makes you sleep peacefully and wake up with energy because you know you're on the right path. This success is not exclusive to geniuses, the lucky ones, or people who were born with talent. This success is a direct reflection of clarity and action, and it is available to anyone who decides to seek it with intention. Now, I need you to understand one thing with your entire being. You already have everything you need within you. All the tools, all the answers, all the strength you need to build the life you want. The only thing that was missing was clarity. Clarity about who you are. Clarity about where you want to go, clarity about what you need to do every day to move towards your purpose. And today, with everything we've talked about so far, this clarity began to form. Now just activate, put it into practice, take the first step, and then the second, and the third, until living with purpose stops being a dream and becomes your new reality. So tell me, looking at everything that was said, everything you felt throughout this video, what will you choose? Will you continue waiting for the ideal condition, the perfect moment, the spontaneous motivation? Or will you decide that the time is now, with what you have, where you are? Because this decision defines everything. It defines whether you will continue to feel stuck, confused, lost, or whether you will finally experience the lightness, the clarity, the strength of living a meaningful life. The choice is yours. If this video spoke to you, if it awakened something true in you, if it made you reflect in a way that no other content has done to date, then do the following. Comment below, "Now I know what I need to do." Write this sentence with intention, as a way of declaring to yourself that this is the moment when your life begins to change. If you know someone who needs to hear this, who is lost, unmotivated, without direction, share this video with them. Sometimes a single piece of content can save an entire phase of someone's life. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. Here is your place. A space made for you who believes in personal transformation, in the strength of self-discipline, in the daily construction of a winning mentality. Each video here is another piece in your evolution process. Activate the bell, because the next video could be exactly the push you were waiting for to take action that will change everything. Now it's up to you. Your new journey begins where this video ends, and I will be here at every step, bringing valuable content to accompany you on this journey towards your best version. Let's go together. Because you will never win until you understand that success begins with a clear purpose, and you already have it inside you. Now just activate.